There are a lot of ICOs today and a lot of decentralized applications being proposed. Most of them are really bad ideas. What I'm about to present to you is what I believe is perhaps one of the best decentralized application concepts that has been proposed yet in this ecosystem, and one that I believe could change and help us predict the future. This is an introduction to Augur, a decentralized prediction market platform, which in other terms is an unstoppable online betting platform that predicts the future. But before I explain what this platform is, it's important for us to answer a very important question. How do we predict the future? Historically, humans have always had an innate desire to know what will happen in the future. Some of the first writing that's ever been recorded was on oracle bones. Chinese caricatures predicting weather events, races, different events that would happen in the future. And of course, people have always gone to fortune tellers, tarot card readers, other sorts of mystics to know what will happen in their personal lives and in the lives of others. But this isn't a very good way to predict the future. Today, we have experts, pundits, individuals that are authorities in what they speak about, but very often are not correct in their predictions. Their predictions can be helpful, but usually not something that we should depend on. We have opinion polls. You can see right here, a couple weeks before the 2012 election, about half of all opinion polls for the United States presidential election had Mitt Romney winning the election, despite the fact that Barack Obama won in a landslide. Opinion polls, once again, can help us get towards predicting the future, but are not a clear answer to solving this problem. Now, there's a concept known as crowd wisdom. Crowd wisdom suggests that if you put a bunch of people in this room, it could be all of us, you take a jar of jelly beans. None of us individually will probably guess how many jelly beans are in that jar. But if you take the average of all of our guesses, it is possible to get within a fraction of 1 or 2% of the actual number of jelly beans in the jar. It's a mathematical phenomenon that is repeatedly proven throughout nature. There's a game show known as Who Wants to Be a Millionaire in the United States, and people are asked trivia questions. Those trivia questions can range from fine art to pop culture, but the participants in the game show, they get lifelines. They get 4 options for the answer that they give on the game show. One is they get half the answers removed. That's used first. And then there's phone a friend or an expert. And then there's poll the audience. Most people say phoning a friend or an expert as their very last lifeline because people tend to believe that experts are the best source of wisdom. When, in fact, over the history of this game show, when people have called a friend or an expert, only 60% of the time has that friend been correct. However, when the game contestant has polled the audience has been right 91% of the time. This is just a game show audience, yet they are right 91% of the time on questions ranging from astrophysics to celebrity marriages. So this is a very powerful tool, but how do you harness it? Well, we've got something known as prediction markets. This is what we're getting to. Prediction markets are a tool where people make bets on the outcome of a future event. It can be a political election, such as who will win the presidency. It can be a sporting match. It can be a climatological event, the weather tomorrow. You can make it's a derivatives market. You can make a bet on anything. That bet can be made for less than a penny to $10 in the market that we're looking here. And people buy shares based off how many shares are being bought of each side. In this case, more people thought Barack Obama was going to be elected president So it was about $5.85 for a share of him winning, and about a $4.20 probability of him losing. And so what you get from this is not only a price, but the probability that the market assigns of an event occurring. So if Barack Obama has 58.5% probability of winning, then you buy shares for $5.85. This is a really powerful notion. You can gauge the audience or gauge the market and get a really good sense of what they think is going to happen. If we go back a few slides, we look here, and most opinion polls had Mitt Romney winning, yet at the exact same time, at the end of the market, Barack Obama was a clear winner in the election. And the reason for this is because people were putting their money where their mouth was. And when people bet with their money, they tend to be more honest, and we tend to get better outcomes and results. So we know that these prediction markets really work. We've got a long history of people betting on elections and getting very good probabilities of the likelihood of a candidate winning. But the problem is that this was the in-trade platform in 2012. This is the in-trade platform today. In 95% of countries in the world, online betting is illegal in some form or another. In-trade managed to piss off the Commodities Future Trading Commission in the United States, and they got their bank accounts shut down. Other prediction market platforms have faced similar fates. The Hollywood Stock Exchange was founded for people to bet on box office returns. Hollywood didn't like that because people were betting that flops were going to be flops before they came out, and they were worried that was going to hurt their bottom line. Thus, in 2012, when the large American financial regulation, the Dodd-Frank Act, came out, the Congress inserted a little stipulation stating that certain sorts of prediction markets in the United States could not be made. It doesn't ban all of them, but it bans some. And very few others have been able to get approved. In fact, the CIA and DARPA actually tried to create their own prediction market platform in which people could bet on public policy events, because this was such a good way for us to be able to predict what might happen in the future. When it came to geopolitical events, the CIA realized that, hey, asking the world what's going to happen may be a very good way for us to gauge certain sorts of events. However, Congress caught wind of this, shut it down. And thus, we created Augur. It is a decentralized solution with no central servers, built on top of the Ethereum blockchain. This was, in fact, the first decentralized application to be built on top of Ethereum, as we started building it 9 months before Ethereum launched. It allows anybody in the world to create their own prediction market, in which anyone can participate from anywhere in the world with an internet connection. The fees are incredibly low because the market makers set the trading fees. If they set the trading fees too high, somebody can make the same exact market with lower fees and outcompete them in terms of liquidity. Instead of having a single centralized arbiter of truth, an oracle, if you will, reporting on what happens, there are thousands of people around the world reporting on the outcome of each prediction market event. Thus, it's an incorruptible system. No one person can sway the outcome and sway the payouts in this decentralized prediction market platform. And importantly, because this is built in a truly decentralized manner on top of Ethereum smart contracts, all the payouts are guaranteed, safe, and incorruptible, once again. This is what it looks like. We've built a platform that it attempts to be as frictionless, intuitive, and beautiful as any current betting website. You can bet on anything, and in an easy manner, just using the Mist browser for Ethereum. But remember, this is not being hosted on any central servers, so there's no way that this platform can get shut down. It's running on every single Ethereum node. The platform is very intuitive. Anybody can go and create a market. Anybody can go and participate. The token that Augur uses, or the native token of Augur, is not necessary to use the platform. you can use any cryptocurrency to bet on Augur, because what we realized when making this sort of platform is that many of the bets that are going to be made are going to be long-term bets, bets that may take place in 12 months or 24 months or 10 years. And for those sorts of bets, you can't have the risk of your bet being compounded by the volatility of floating cryptocurrencies. And so instead, we have a platform that enables stable coins, or coins that, cryptocurrencies that maintain parity with the US dollar or some other index, allows those to be used on this platform. The token is a little bit different than a lot of these utility tokens that you see being offered in ICOs today. The Augur token enables a decentralized oracle. As I said before, there is no single source of truth on this platform. When markets resolve, let's say, will Real Madrid beat Barcelona? After the game, instead of having one person say whether that happened, thousands of people, reputation token owners, report on the outcome of the game. That way, it ensures that there's no way that one single source of truth can be corrupted, the outcome can be altered, and the system can be broken. You may have heard of other decentralized prediction market platforms built on the blockchain, such as Stocks and Gnosis. This is where their greatest failing is. They do not have a decentralized oracle solution, and thus they potentially can be corrupted. Now, our ICO happened 2 years ago, so I'm sorry, but it's available on most crypto markets. It's called REP, and then part of the incentive for doing this, reporting on the outcome of events, not only does the value of this token grow as the market grows, the reporters of these events receive half of all the trading fees in the system. So when someone creates a market, they receive half the fees, and the other half go to the reporters of these tokens. And if you report honestly and regularly every 8 weeks as the system works, then you get more tokens, because some people will forget to vote, and some people will vote dishonestly. And those people end up losing their tokens as a result. So REP is perhaps the most meritocratic crypto economic system that exists out there today. You can start with one token and end up with many, as long as you faithfully report on the outcome of events regularly. The applications of Augur and any truly decentralized prediction market platform are endless. It is effectively an unstoppable derivatives platform. Pretty much the entire financial market could be put on top of this. Stock markets that are previously unavailable. If you're in Eastern Europe, it's very hard to participate in the American stock market. You can now create a market for Apple stock or Tesla stocks and participate. You can create decentralized insurance markets. You can use this as a hedge, as a life insurance option. The applications are truly endless, and I think that's what makes this perhaps the most exciting decentralized application in the blockchain space. Thank you.